Now let's get to some of your thoughts on our big story from Wednesday's show, the announcement of a new plan to address homelessness in Multnomah County. County Chair Jessica Vega Pederson and Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler unveiled the plan yesterday, saying it's the basis for a new 3-year contract agreement for the Joint Office of Homeless Services. That deal still needs to be approved by both the City Council and County Commissioners. But it does appear to be the long-awaited unified plan between city and county that many have been calling for. The details on things like goals and accountability aspect, check out our story on the KGW YouTube channel. It's all there, but too much to get into right now. At the end of our segment, though, we asked for your thoughts, as we often do. And while some of us here are tentatively hopeful the plan will lead to positive results, many of you, turns out, are not.
It's just more of the same. You've got two egotistical leaders in Wheeler and Pederson who put together tonight a situation where they think that they can fool us with their cooperation. And I'm sorry, I hate to say this, but it's not going to work and they're way off. This situation requires the fact that the enforcement of the rule and law needs to be in place. I'm not encouraged at all.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Scott wrote to us to say, yada, 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 a big waste of tax money. These folks get free tents, food, facilities, and more. Let's put them to work, cleaning camps and earning tax money. I see this plan falling flat in 6 months.
There she goes again. Assess, identify, look at data, plan, blah, blah, blah. That's all she knows how to do. Why not stand up there and say, we're going to put 15 new people on project response. We're going to put 25 new people on the social services at Rose Haven, Central City Concern. We're going to hire case managers that are going to go out and interview these people. Again, all she wants to do is look at, assess, data, identify, and plan, and nothing gets done. And it won't get done this time either.
All right, thanks for that. And how about this one from James? I really hope that the county and city can actually finally make this work. The only difference I see is the metrics that are allegedly going to be used to measure the progress. All the talking points that Pederson and Wheeler made during the rollout were exactly the same as their alleged enthusiasm. Go get them, politicos. Lives are depending on you.
It still continues to seem as if this is mostly data-driven and committee-driven and planning-driven and not so much action and outcome-driven. And it sure seems like to me that it's just another plan, but it doesn't sound to me like it's going to lead to the accomplishment of the goals of getting people off the streets. So I hope I'm wrong. Thank you.
And thank you. And Linda chimed in. I wonder if the city and county joining forces on homelessness will really make a difference. The walls that have made them ineffective can still be there. Trying to be hopeful. Larry liked most of what he heard, though. I'm encouraged to see city and county finally working together. Great steps in the right direction. But where is Clackamas County in all this? I live in the Southgate area. We have homeless here, too. On a broader scale, why isn't this being done by Metro-wide? Good question, Larry. There was also a theme among many of your comments saying that something is missing from the new plan. HW wrote to us to say, words I did not hear on the city's talk of priorities, treatment. This is at the root of a lot of the other problems, crime and so forth. Simply putting the addicted in housing will not magically solve the addiction problem. They are only dealing with the optics. Treatment must be mandatory. And Dennis said, new homeless plan of the month. Any plans that don't include mental health and drug rehab is a plan doomed to fail. Sure, they can keep throwing money at the problem, but that helps no one. Just sounds like political double talk to me. Okay, thank you. I was with Blair Best at the press conference yesterday, and she asked about how addiction services factor into this new plan because she often reports on the addiction crisis.
We hear so much about affordable housing, more shelter, but the underlying issue out there is addiction. How can we possibly house all these people without enough addiction services?
So I appreciate that. I mean, we absolutely need more affordable housing. We don't, I mean, even that, just that aside, we don't have enough places for people to live that they can afford. So that continues to be a key thing. But just as important is making sure the people who need treatment, who want to have treatment, whatever that looks like, whether that looks like going through detox, going into a treatment program, having a place to go while they're in recovery, all of those things are investments that are needed. That's why I'm most excited about the part of the structure that we're proposing that is what we're calling right now the implementation committee, where we're actually having the folks who are responsible for putting those kinds of things into action at the table together as we're talking about our homelessness response system. So it's folks from our Department of Health and our behavioral health folks, but it's also our some of our CCO partners, our healthcare partners. I think it's going to be really important as we're talking about what we need in our community that we have, that we're sharing that information with the state, because they're a part of these systems that the state is responsible for as well. And it's not just the behavioral health folks and the healthcare folks that are going to be at the table, but we're also talking about some of our justice partners. We were talking about housing, the housing folks at the table. We were talking about our crisis response system partners at the table, so that we can be really taking a look at this holistically as we're talking about what the system needs and how each of us can be a part of making that solution.
So that's the chair basically saying, yeah, we're going to talk about it. Now, in my opinion, it feels like we're long past talking about it. Just look at the lines of people trying to get into one of only 2 walk-in detox centers in the city every morning. But let's hope these new meetings, as part of this new plan, bring all the city and county players to a table together and spur some real action to boost treatment options instead of just talking about it. And for those of you thinking this plan might shake things up too much, oh, don't worry about that. Some things will still stay the same, just like in the bad old days. Blair also asked if the county will continue to provide tents and tarps to homeless folks, and the chair said yes. And then Mayor Wheeler stepped up and said the city will continue to remove tents and tarps from the public right-of-ways. Nice little closed loop there of your tax dollars at work, paying for one group to give the tents out, then paying the other group to take them down. Some things don't change. And while we're talking about the big plan to deal with homelessness, it made us think of County Commissioner Sharon Meieran. She's an ER doc and also volunteers with a medical group that helps the homeless, and she's a county commissioner. She's also been very critical of the approach taken so far to deal with the issue. For months now, she's been sounding the alarm that there's no organized plan to fight homelessness in the county. Way back in May of this year, we brought you extended comments from the commissioner saying there should be one person in charge and that goals and metrics should be used to measure whether any progress is actually being made. Well, this new plan does not put anyone in charge, but at least there are goals and metrics. Meieran was not brought in to work on the agreement, by the way. She said she learned about the details after the news conference yesterday. So, yeah, I guess that speaks volumes for how well the board's working together, eh? Anyway, Meieran had already planned a virtual town hall to share her vision for what a good homeless response would look like, and last night she held it. She told those who turned in that a homeless response should address 3 areas that you see there on your screen: prevention, shelter, and housing. She also addressed something that happened when the county board recently voted on how to spend more than $60 million in unexpected tax money on homeless programs. During that meeting and before the vote, Meieran, right there, wanted to show her concept of how she thinks the system should be set up. She had a poster board to lay it all out, but she was shut down by the county chair, not allowed to show it. So last night, she brought it out. She had a chance to show it during her own town hall. This is how she thinks it would make sense to set up the system, that the focus would start on the streets where lives are at risk and then move to shelters and then transitional housing. She also showed this graphic to contrast her vision with the current reality of how the system is working, a system she described as chaotic and ineffective.
This is a mess. This is not something that can effectively create shared vision or policy or plans, because where do you even go with it? And so that's why I believe that we are sort of where we are. It's with no authoritative governance structure that has sort of the decision-making authority, without defined leadership. There has been no coordinated shared plan around homelessness. And the result has been both predictable and devastating.
Now, part of what the city and county say they're doing now is trying to change that to create a shared vision and policy for dealing with homelessness, exactly what Meiran's talking about being needed. But as I mentioned earlier, Meiran was kept out of the announcement yesterday. She was asked about that during her town hall.
I didn't hear a plan today at all. I heard that they're going to talk about an agreement. You'll hear more about this over the coming days and weeks, probably. The city and county are negotiating their relationship around part of homelessness, because the joint office is not truly a joint office. It's a county department, and there's stuff happening there. A lot of it is behind closed doors. Like, I literally found out about the press conference after it happened today. And I don't know, I hope so. And I hope they're open to different voices, but the devil's in the details. And if their words are met with action, great. That's what I've been saying for years.
So there you go. I talked with the commissioner late today. She said that she is hopeful that things will start moving in the right direction, but she's skeptical as well. And I know that we keep saying it, but we really will be watching to see how the city and county move forward with this, and we'll let you know what we see.